So Mohammed has just stopped by the side of the road here and has pointed out that this space behind me is Lake Tiberias, which we actually call Sea of Galilee. So this is where Jesus walked on water. All that white area that you see down the front there, that's actually Israel. That was land that was originally given and then given to the Israelis. So 150 kilometres that way is the Dead Sea, and we will see that in a few days. So this is the Jordan Valley, this Rift Valley, this fertile valley that is so important to this region, the food bowl of the nation. One of the other things that Muhammad said was there was some land further near that last antiquity that has been bought up, the locals were saying, but they don't know by whom. And because you're only 1 kilometre there from the Israeli border, that they suspect that it's Jews that are buying up the land and hope to move over this way, or that the border changes. But just beautiful, just at the top of this ridge. He said we can't stop further up because it's a militarised zone further up, so this is the only place that you can stop to do this bit of a lookout. Lake Tiberias, and the Tiberias, the city, is just on the other side of that ridge in the haze. So I'm walking in the antiquity that's known as Umm Qais. I've been calling it Umm Qais, and that's not a nice word apparently. So I've been pronouncing it wrong. So Umm Qais means Mother Qais. It is the ancient city of Gadara, 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 one of the Decapolis, one of the 10 cities that were important during that Hellenistic period. And in here is the Western Amphitheatre, and I'll just see if I can gain access to it some way. I'll see what this leads. So I've moved down this this chamber, and you can see there that the roof and the stones have moved over time and earthquakes. When you come into this space, the temperature actually drops really markedly. I think it's about 20 degrees outside at the moment. And so I'll just walk out here and I'll be able to see the West Amphitheatre. It's a very dark, so it's probably a basalt, something like that. Just an amazing place. So I know that there's some stairs and there are some people sitting up there, but I don't think you're going to get me up there today after my little adventure yesterday at the Roman Amphitheatre in Amman. So just walking through the site, and it's quite a big site, about 1 kilometre by 2 kilometres. Just walking down this street, and these would have been potentially shops. We've got the archway there as the supporting wall. Then you'd have this facade made out of the more refined rock and decorative overlay of those plinths or door jambs or something. Quite a big site. So just walking around the site, just finding all these amazing sites at the site, ironically enough. And I'll go over and I'll have a look at the Golan Heights, which is this structure, these hills behind me. But then you've got this street that leads right up to the city, and so I'll explore some of that in a moment. But I'll go over and I'll have a look at the Golan Heights. It's the disputed area where Jordan gave it to Israel, and then it's like the truce, the no man's zone. So the last time I came here, which was about July 3 last year, the temperature was about 45 degrees, and the following day it was supposed to be about 50. So I didn't really spend much time here. Just ran over, took the photo and ran back to the air conditioning of the car. But you can see over in the background over there, oh, some people waving, that's really fun, thank you, hi. You can actually see an outpost. So you are so close to the Israeli border that there's outposts, and we did pass a checkpoint, but they didn't ask for our ID, even though we were prepared for it. So we've got Lake Tiberia over here in Tiberias City. As I say, that for us is the Sea of Galilee, so that's where Jesus walked on water. And over to the back here is the Golan Heights. So it was given by Hussein and then taken back, and it's the disputed zone. So this is probably as close to the troubles that we can get. One of the things Muhammad actually keeps saying is that the land over here is very fertile, so why they build on it, and they actually lose some of that fertile soil. But it's also very cheap land, so to purchase property, land in this area is quite cheap. But there's no industry. You've got, I don't know what they are, you've got almond trees I think, and you've got olive groves, but there's really nothing except for down there in the Jordan Valley, and all that belongs to Israel, so all the fertile land has gone to the Israelis. I'm not sure if you can actually see that, but there's ruts there in the path, and that would be the wheel ruts made by passage of thousands of tyres over, or tyres, what am I talking about? Wheels over time. If we get to Jerash, down the colonnade at Jerash, there is you can really see this example quite markedly. Because again, there's about 2 feet apart, you've got those tracks. That's pretty amazing. Actually almost just looks like rubble, but it's from probably different times. This site just extends for kilometres by the looks of it. Once again, over in that haze is the Golan Heights. So I'll just cruise up, see where this pathway leads. Maybe it'll get me back to that main colonnade area. I keep saying that the only reason I came back here was that the last time, on about the 3rd of July, the temperature was so bad. It would have to be 20 degrees today. It is just beautiful. So I've had an opportunity to wander through most of the antiquity, and right in the middle of the antiquity is a restaurant. Which I didn't notice last time. As I say, last time I just raced down that colonnade, took the photos of Golan Height, and then rushed back to the air conditioning car after paying some guide about 10 JD, about $20-25, to keep telling me that the temperature was 45 and that tomorrow it was going to be 50. And I had to actually say to him after about the 5th time, I didn't pay you, to give me a weather forecast. And he goes, Ottoman, and the temperature tomorrow is going to be 50. So it's just another part of this amazing adventure. Behind me, as I say, Lake Tiberias, or the Sea of Galilee. If you are a Christian anyway, that's really important to you, where Jesus walked on water. So I've come out of that restaurant area and I'm actually walking downstairs, which is pretty amazing for me. But it just gives me an opportunity just to see the antiquity from a different angle and not have to work too hard to see it, because I walked up a graduated slope, which was very nice. But you can see how this was an important hillside fort of Gadara, G-A-D-A-R-A, Gadara, one of those 10 cities by the Hellenistic period. I'm sure I've said in the past about it's a completely different culture. Arabs do travel in packs, especially the men. If not, it's a familial pack with multi-generational family. But also when you're coming to visit an antiquity, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually climb on it and sit on it and almost have a picnic on it. It's just a completely different mindset to the way Arabs behave. What I've seen on even walking around here is soft drink tabs, ring pulls, where they've been outlawed in Australia for a very long time. Rubbish. There's just a different mindset about what people do and how they protect their environment. So maybe there's some interesting lessons to be learnt by the Jordanians. Walking into this space with all the pillars, you have to be a good 30 metres square. Everything looks really quite intact. There's different coloured pillars, these black ones up here. Maybe they represent a different building completely. Yeah, I think they do, because there's black stone around the outside of this white building. Very interesting. So these black pillars in the middle here are actually arranged in a circle, which is something a little bit different. And there's a circular mosaical pattern in the pavement just here. I'll see where this pathway leads. I have all anticipation it'll go nowhere and I'll have to turn around and go back again, but it just gives me a different perspective walking in an area that I have been to before but not explored, this particular area. Just to give you a bit of perspective, I actually walked up another gradient, and this is the other side of those stairs that I saw earlier when I came into the amphitheatre. I'm actually going to enter the amphitheatre now from the top, which, because I didn't necessarily walk all the stairs, it's going to be a reasonably okay thing to do. So I'm about the second or the third layer up. So I was taking photos from down there before. Still not at the very top though. Just a very interesting shape of the chairs here. They've actually got that curved back on them. Once again, I don't think they'll be very comfortable for a 2 or 3 hour performance, but this is the West Amphitheatre at Umm Qais in Jordan. So I am coming up to like day 6, something like that. And every day I've done something, especially getting off the plane, doing 2 castles and then 4 castles the next day. And I know I've got some big days ahead of me once I get to Petra, even though it'll be the same site, just doing it over and over. Ali wants to take me to Wadi Rum. Everybody wants to take me to Wadi Rum, and I've agreed. I've got no accommodation booked from tomorrow night. I check out of Amman, so it's 6 days in Amman. So I don't know what the next 2 days are going to hold. Having faith in somebody else and letting them plan something is a bit terrifying, but I've decided that that's going to be part of the journey, allowing other people to take some control, and I just go along with the ride. Up to this point, it's turned out really fantastic. My guide today, Mohammed, first time that I've met him, very professional, older man, that he was just so happy that I wanted to go to different places that weren't on the tourist map, and he said right at the beginning, the first hour or so, that the time had just flown because he enjoyed the company so much and driving in the different area. So I'm absolutely happy that Jordans and Jordanians can bring me such joy and happiness, and then I can actually bring some joy and happiness to a couple of Jordanians.